Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Mill. My name's Bill. This is Pirate Solutions Forestry in our ongoing testing of this repair job on the Stellicut band. I got to try and finish up my Christmas milling here. And really, it's the last real job, cold out this morning, that I have to do before Christmas. My water's, even though I have antifreeze in it, my water's frozen. So I'm going to try and mill this dry. I just want to knock this out before I go to lunch and let it maybe warm up a little bit to finish off the last little log. I'll show you the couple of logs that we have to go here. They're both maple, and I'll show you the wood and the finish we got out of our band yesterday. The gorgeous wood, this that I think is sycamore, came out absolutely beautiful. I hope he's going to be really happy with it. The maple came out nice. I've got a few really unique pieces left over here that I was going to edge off, but I think I'm going to give them to him whole. Some really beautiful wide planks here. They're all frozen together, so I can't really show you everything. I also had some slab cuts that I was going to edge down, but I think I'm going to give them to him whole. And if he wants me to edge them, I'll edge them later and then just give them to him after that. They actually have a little bit of some kind of cool spalting in them. The colors and the grains came out great. The finish on the wood came out really, really nice off of that band that we replaced. If you didn't watch that, go ahead and watch it. I did have a little mishap on this log because it was so short. When I was cutting one of these two logs, I think it was this one, because it was so short, I had it dogged off with one stop and dog, and when I was busting it into a cant, it ended up slipping, and it flipped right at the end, right when I was cutting out. It did put a little strain on the blade. It knocked into the guide. We're going to see if that has any effect on the cut. Keep in mind, I am cutting dry right now. This one's a maple. We're just going to try and blast this into, it looks like on the small end, that 6-inch cant is going to be reasonable on this log. And he wants 1x6s, so we're going to try to get her knocked out here pretty quick. And then I'm going to go to an early lunch and hopefully let it warm up 5 or 10 degrees here before I mill off his small log, which is sitting over there behind the Bobcat. I debated not milling it. It's kind of a junk log. I still may not mill it. Right now, so on this particular job right now, before I touch this log, time-wise at $100 an hour, I'm up to $260. So two of the logs took an hour. One of the logs took really 40 minutes. So I think we're up to $260. I've got 2 left. I milled 3. Yeah. So for repairing that band, it's well worth it. This one right here is going to get me up over that $300 threshold. And on that band that we repaired, that really was not only damaged and had some teeth knocked off, but got heated up really bad. We reset and resharpened. It's made its money back for the, much more than the time that it took me. That band will actually pay for a box of these bands. So if you bought a box of 10 of these Stellicut bands, that one band doing that repair job would pay, in this little job right here, 4 hours would pay for a whole box of bands, 10 bands. And then you're talking about, really, without hitting metal, conservatively 50,000 board feet of cutting in 10 bands. So repairing those things is well worth it. And you saw that. If you didn't watch the video, go ahead and watch it. If you're interested in getting your Stellicut bands, keeping them running, you're going to want to watch it. You can go through and sharpen them one time without touching the set. I did set it on the third sharpen, and it was pretty close. The one thing that I have discovered with the Stellicut bands, and that I think maybe I made a teeny little mistake on, mea culpa, so to speak, is I was trying to set the bands really, really close. I don't think you want to set any of them over. I think actually they may work better a thousandth under. You want the Stellite inserts to create your kerf and to create your smoothness of cut. Now, some of these cuts came out, you know, really, really, really smooth. They're beautiful for rough sawn lumber, far beyond anything that you'd want, or I mean, that you'd need. But I think if you set one of those teeth a little bit proud, then you're going to get lines, and I think that's where my lines are coming from. And they're not very big. I'll show you. You know, you can see some lines in this one. This one, look at this one. Look how smooth that is. You know, you look at this one. It's really smooth. I can see some lines, barely. I'm zoomed way in, guys. You're looking way in close. But I think that is teeth that I set that were maybe set a teeny, teeny bit proud. You can see on this one, I can't really see almost any lines in it at all. You see a few lines in this one. And I did have a little chunk of wood that was in that hollow that you can see on those up there. It was really, really hard, that ripped off. And I heard the band kind of smack into it, and it made a big, huge noise. And that could have led to this tooth right here being out of set and creating those lines. So who knows, but it's, you know, it's still a super productive band. So we're going to go ahead and mill this apart. At least I'm going to try to. I'm going to be milling with no water, so hopefully the band doesn't heat up. It's just maple. It's freezing cold out. I think the band will run plenty cool enough. Maybe the water will start working once this, I dumped some more straight antifreeze into it, and the tube feels open, so maybe it'll start making its way down, and maybe it'll start watering while I'm milling. It was really the nozzle here that was froze up. There was a little chunk of ice on the band this morning. Hopefully it'll make its way through and free that up. And yeah, let's get going at it here. Don't want this to move around. I'm just going to kind of wing this one. But that sycamore is really interesting looking wood. It's beautiful. I did warm the mill up for a little while. So I will show you the wood when I'm cutting, and we'll get to see what we're working with here. It's a little bit of a curvy log, so I'm not sure how it's going to work out, but I think I got the best side up to make a top cut. We'll at least get 2 cuts in parallel into this thing. Might be clear there. Let's go ahead and just run it right here. Not close. Not even close to clear there. Really just cutting this big bump off the top right now. This still cut pretty smooth. You know, it's funny, I got a weird little, where I stopped and moved the guide, I got a weird little line in it. I'm going to take 1 inch off this thing. So we're going to drop from 13 to 11 7/8. Take a 1 inch flitch off this. I'm starting to see some water making its way through. Band is running really still. It's still running really quiet, even for not getting any coolant on it right now. But I'm starting to see some water drip. Yep, there's a drip. Looks like we're going to get some water out of it. This has got it's got a punky spot right in the middle of the log. This isn't going to be a good log. I'll show you that. Wood in the cut. Let me just, I don't have my scraper out. I'll just dust it off. So this band, yeah, it's got a punky spot right in the middle of the log. Hate cutting these small logs like this. You know, who knows how this is going to work out for lumber. He wants 1x6s, and hopefully that little punky spot right there on the end was a big hole in this. Hold on, sorry. There's a big hole in this log, and he actually asked me, and I wrote on the end of the log, he wanted, I don't know if you can see my blue writing down there, but he said save the hole. So I actually measured how deep that hole went this morning, and I cut it off. And I'm hoping that that spot doesn't diagonally go up through the log right here, because that's going to suck. It's going to wreck all his boards. You can see some lines in it for sure. So this band's definitely kind of taking a beating with getting wrapped by those couple of things that I was talking about. I can see the band moving around a little bit. It's definitely not in great shape. It's cutting great, but it's definitely not cutting perfectly smooth. Cutting way smooth enough, but it's not perfect. So we're going to get this thing flipped over. We'll take the other side off. We'll do the best we can with it. I hate crap like this. I mean, it'd be nice if I just slabbed it, you know, and he could use, but, you know, even this small, they're not good for anything. He's paying me to cut it. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to do the best I can, but it's, you know, this is like, oh, I found some logs on the side of the road. Can you cut them up for me kind of thing? This wood is hard. It's hard to get the cant hook into it. I'll get two parallel sides here. Oh, come on. Don't crush your hands, Billy. Think that log stuff was sticking right in that rod hole. That's a good saying. Sticking right in your rot hole. I'm actually going to move this stop over. You know what? I don't think this log's going to move. I think it's okay. I'm going to drop this down a little bit to 3 for... No. I'll keep it up now for now. I'm not going to go that low on this side. So I'm at 5. Check the other one just so I know not to go near it. Hoping this log doesn't twist when it's dogged off pretty tight. I think it'll be fine. Sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm cold. Not really thinking straight right now. So I'm going to get the top off it, get a pretty good flat spot on it. I'm at 6 on that side, so I can't go really below. I won't cut below 7. I'm probably going to have to choke this thing every time I start it. Well, yeah, I got water flowing now. That's down at 10. I'm going to take it right there. So this side's nice and sound. I think I'm going to blast a 1-inch flitch off it. So right now, to be able to take 1-inch boards, I kind of want to stay on. I want to get on scale to get to 6 inches. I don't know which way I'm going to get to 6 inches, but it'll be 6, 7 1/8, 8 1/4, 9 3/8. So that's not going to be a very thick board if I take a flitch off right now. I'm going to take a 1-inch flitch off this side right now. This will probably end up being my dimension that I cut through, so I don't have to waste it. So because it's at 10, I could leave it here because that's on 1-inch scale. So let's go ahead and I'm not going to cut a flitch off this. Yes, I am. I can come to, because I'm at 10 right now, I'm on 1-inch scale. So I can drop to 8 7/8 and I'm still on 1-inch scale. And then if I can get it 6 in the other dimension, I can mill it out this way. So let's drop to 8 7/8, take a 1-inch flitch off. It doesn't hurt us to do it. Because we're staying on 1-inch scale. And it's going to balance out the log a little better. So essentially, we got ourselves a true 1-inch board there, and we stayed on 1-inch scale in this direction. So if I get it to 6 inches the other way, I can mill it into 6-inch boards and be on scale to not waste anything. That may seem kind of like overkill to you, but it's not overkill to me to try not to waste anything in his logs. They're not my logs. It's pretty wood. I'll show it to you before I flip it. Danny, come. Where he went. He's freezing his ass off, I bet. Pretty maple. You can definitely see lines in it. Band's still cutting perfectly flat. There's absolutely no waves in it. You can see a little ambrosia in it. Hopefully some of that comes through later. You can see I definitely knocked a tooth out of set though. If some of this seems tedious, I hope that maybe somebody just maybe takes something from my methodology sometimes as to why I do things, and maybe it'll help you out a little bit at some point. Now, this log's got a bump on it right here, which means I'm going to want to go all the way over with it. I want this side right now down. That's going to give me the most level cut to waste as little as I can possibly waste. I wonder if we can do it with the little PV. Danny, come. So we're going to go all the way over with it. Hopefully, that rot spot does not. Ends up working itself out here somehow. Okay, now we can square it up and we'll be the most level. Danny, come! I don't know where he got off to. Get off to somewhere he's not supposed to be. Come on. Stay right there for a second. Perfect. Hey, Danny, come now. Nope. No, that's not him. I'm just going to pause you guys quick while I round him up. Don't know where he went. He's not listening, and rather than you guys listening to me screaming for him, hold on one sec. Let's get him back. Now you can see him over there by the old refrigerator unit. He's kind of muddling around over there. I just don't want him in the parking lot next door in case he decides to make his way out front. So you can see the big bump in the top of this. That bump is not in the bottom. So we're going to take this off, get this nice and flat, flip it over. And we will try to get it to 6 inches this way. And then we'll flip it on its side and we can mill it out. All right, let's go at it. Is that a bent tooth? Teeth are still in really good shape, it looks like. Come on, Dan. See where we're at here. That's about a minimal cut. It's right at 13. Really, all we did there was cut the bump off. Beautiful. Oh man, is that beautiful. Wow, I'm going to want to show you this too. We'll take a 1-inch board off it. I'll show you the board. So I'm just above 13. I'm going to drop to just above 11 7/8. Take a 1-inch board off. My water aimed in the wrong direction here, in case it does start flowing. It's almost flowing. When it does start flowing, it's going to be gushing because I got it wide open right now. Hey, Danny, come on. Your tendency when you're like this is to want to just keep cutting boards off this, and you really shouldn't. You're not stable enough with that round side down, especially on hardwood. To do that, you want to get it flipped over as quick as you can. I had a little bit of wane on this side, so I wanted to get rid of it. This is a gorgeous board. I'll bring it over to you to show you before I stack it. Danny, get out here now. Sorry. Look at that. I'll show you the colors in this thing if I keep it in the sun right. Look at the colors in this thing. The red and the greens, and it's really a pretty board. Keep that one for him full width. Might not edge that one down. It's got a little weight on it. I'll probably edge that one down to 6 inches. And we'll get her flipped on the other side, get the other side cleaned up. Hopefully to 6 inches. Yeah, this punky spot sucks. We might reevaluate after I get some nice clean wood down the bottom here. That would be the way I'm milling it though, so it wouldn't be too bad. I am going to be milling this out this way. In other words, the boards are going to come off like that. Try not to crush my fingers. Move back my freaking log dog because it's going to grab it as it's above the wood. Get these down a little bit to like 3. Now, if you guys see me do something and you say, hey, if you had done this, it would have helped. Guys, throw it in there. Sometimes when I'm videoing like this, I miss shit. All right, we're going to clean up the top. Try to get this thing to 6 inches, and it looks like it's going to work out perfect based on the weight on this side. I'm actually going to make a line on it at 6, and then 7 1/8, and 8 1/4. See what it looks like for my. See where I'm going to start at. I don't even really need to do that. I can just come to 8 1/4 and work my way down. It doesn't really matter. So we're going to come right to 8 1/4. See if we can make a top cut there. And really, the reason I'm doing this is so that I get boards. I'm gonna go up to 9 3/8. So I get 1-inch boards to work towards my 6. I'm gonna take my top cut there. Then I'm gonna come down to 8 1/4. Really hear that fan fueling. Go up 1, come down to 7 1/8. There goes my water coming. Got water flowing now. Come up 2 in a little bit, go back, cut it off at 6. Let the water flow heavy for a minute here, get all the ice out of there and clean up the bed. Water's freezing as soon as it hits the log. Danny, come out of there now, please. All right, Let's get these boards down here because these might get edged. They got a little bit of weight on them. They'll end up being perfect 1x6s. I'll stick these down here. This one's a beautiful board at whatever width it is. I will not edge this. I'll give it to them wide. Now we're going to go through, we're going to flip it up. We're going to mill it down from the top. All my good wood's on the bottom. I got the rot spot on the top, so it might wreck a couple boards. But then we're going to get past that rot spot, and we're going to get into some better wood. Hopefully it's only a couple of boards here. And we'll mill it right out. We're on scale this way. We're going to mill it right out the bottom of the log on 1-inch scale at 6 inches wide is what he asked for. So we're good to go. Let's mill it out. A few of these boards are just not going to be very good. He's going to get a good section down here and maybe a little one. I'm not sure what he's going to do with them. So if he's making cabinets with them or something like that, these small chunks will work. But let's get at it. So let's see where we are. That's 10 inches. I know I'm below that. Yep. I know I milled it at 8 7/8, so our next one down is 7 3/4. That should be a 1-inch board. So that's why I did it the way I did it, so that I ended up on scale on this side. So up one and back, drop back down to my next 4/4 mark is 6 5/8. Almost through the rot spot. Up 2.5 and back. The next one should be at 5.5. That should be the bottom of the rot spot. Up 3.5 to 3.5. And back, next one should be at 4 3/8. Up 1, 2, 3, 4.5. It's clear. The next one should be at 3 1/4. We're up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Half. While I'm here, I'm going to edge those boards off to 6. Let's get these off. These have got the rot spot in the center of them. Yep. Hopefully this is the last one. That one's got a pretty good rot spot in it. Let's get this one off. Yep, rot spot's gone, so that's good. Let's dump these two over there and edge them right to 6 inches. Right now. cut these off at 6. Danny, get out here. I will actually give them these 2 little boards too. A couple of small 1x3s. When I come back from lunch, see about maybe edging the rest of these boards over here, or some of them, not all of them. Yep, our rot spot's gone. We're into beautiful boards now. Make our last couple of cuts. Danny, get out here now. Sorry about the Danny thing. He usually doesn't go anywhere. Hey, get out here. I think my next cut's at 2 1/8. And last cut at 1 inch. And with this mill, hope you don't hit anything. Always, before you make this 1 inch cut, always give a look over here. Make sure that your log stops aren't disengaged or sticking up too high. That's when I always hit them. You got to clean off your sawdust so your saw head will go all the way down to 1 and not rest on it on that side. And make a cut at 1, and we're good to go. Danny, come out here. We're going to go for a ride in the truck. So I'll give you a look at some of these boards, these better ones here. Yeah, these are really pretty. These are worth it. These are really worth it. Cut nice and flat, nice and smooth. No waves, no runs, no errors. You can see this one here. It'll get you a good look at how pretty some of this stuff is here. If I get the light right. Some really cool color in there. You can see what that rot spot looked like. So he is still going to get a chunk out of that side and that side. There's some cool ambrosia in there. Same thing in the middle of these ones. And this one here is kind of cool. It's got some of that inclusion in it, but I know it's covered in sawdust, but see some of that cool red color. So those are kind of neat. So we'll get these all stacked up, get them off here, and we will make provisions for that small log to do when I get back from lunch. Hopefully it's a little warmer. Again, we're looking at, about 40 minutes. Just so you guys know, I had a little bit of time in this before I started, obviously. I had to cut the log off and everything else and get it up on the mill. And so at 40 minutes, $60. lumber wise, that works out great for him. He's getting way more than $60 in wood here. Um, you know, this right here is probably a $30 or $40 board at Home Depot in maple at 1 inch thick and something like 8 inches wide. Probably, I think it's 8 and, if I remember right through my routine, it's 8 and 7/8 wide. You know, this probably goes at Home Depot for $5 a lineal foot. Probably something like that. So it's probably like a $40 board. 6, 7. Yeah, somewhere around there. So for $60, he's getting well worth it. Hopefully, he's making cabinets with the stuff. They will be pretty cool for that. I appreciate the watch as always. Again, you guys hit me up with any questions. I know that I go into pretty good detail of why I'm doing what I'm doing. If you see me do something that you think is wrong, let me know. And really, the purpose of all this is to test out what we did with that Stellicut band, and it's still performing really well. It's still paying for itself over and over again, and it certainly will pay for a box of 10 by the end of this job. And then I can get the stuff out of here, and this one little job right here will pay for a lot of Christmas. So that's where we're at, and on a cold, freezing day with Danny hunting for whatever he's hunting for around that refrigerator unit and myself, this Pirate Solutions out.